I have some natural tattoo. It's cool.
Sal's not out there?
Man, is he? I like the socks with the sandals. That's really something else. Becoming.
Thank you. Now we will visit our friends at a local retirement home and listen to them as they figure out the different ways that we view our fathers, our relationship with our fathers, or those that are father figures to us. See if you can relate to one of their fathers.
I just remembered today is Father's Day. It's been such a long time since I celebrated it. I almost forgot.
My family always honored all the fathers in the family. I was lucky. I had a father and two grandfathers, and when I got married, I gave my husband a gift for Father's Day.
But your husband wasn't your father.
No, he was a father of my children, and that made him the most important father in the world to me.
That's a very nice way to think about it. Yeah. I never thought of Father's Day as being for anyone other than my own dad. But I'm sure every family has its own traditions.
My wife always helped the kids make something for me with their own hands. I appreciate their little homemade gifts more than if they had bought me anything.
What kind of gifts did they make for you, Willie?
Oh, different things. Small things when they were small, like pictures they would draw in color with crayons. When they got older, they did more involved things. Once they made a tray to put my loose change in, and they covered tin cans with pretty paper to make pencil holders.
Oh, I remember those little things that the kids would make. And they'd get so excited to keep it a secret.
My kids would help me make a special cake for their father.
I never had any kids of my own. But once I made my dad a key holder to hang on the wall, I worked so hard on that present. It was a piece of wood that I cut in the shape of a big key. Then I put hooks on it for him to hang his keys.
That sounds nice, Jill. Did he like it?
He said it was the best present he ever got, and that made me feel so proud. Years later, it was still hanging by the back door. I told him he didn't have to keep it just to be loyal to me. He said, "Daughter, that key holder means a lot to me."
I'm sure it was more than just a place to put his keys. Jill.
That was one of the few times I ever hugged my dad. So it meant a lot to me too.
My dad didn't live anywhere near us, but there was this man, Jack, in my apartment building who took me under his wing. I think he had as much influence on me growing up as a father would have had.
Then you were very lucky to have found him. Every child needs a man to look up to.
Yeah, Jack was our building superintendent. He lived in the basement. Looking back, he was probably lonesome, but then so was I. Mom was always at work, and I was alone a lot, so Jack would let me tag along and help him fix things in the apartments.
Is that where you learn to fix things, Marion? It seems everybody around here brings all their broken lamps and things to you to repair.
Yeah, but Jack taught me more than just how to work. Without him, I probably would have drifted off with the wrong crowd. Once a kid offered me a bike for practically nothing. Jack said it was probably stolen and I might get in trouble if I took it. I wanted that bike so badly.
What did you do? Did you take it?
Jack said he would break me in half if I took it. So he went with me to the junkyard and picked out the worst looking trash you ever saw. But the frame was solid. I was really mad at him, but he spent the summer helping me work on it. We fixed it up, painted it, and I ended up with a pretty good bike. You know, Jack was as close to a father as anything I ever had, and I'll never forget it.
My daddy spoiled me and I loved it. He never called me Patricia. It was always Patty, or Patty K, or Princess. I ran to him when I didn't agree with my mother. But Daddy never went over her head. He'd just say, "Now, Princess, when you grow up, you can be queen of the castle. But for now, your mama is queen, and you my little princess. Now, do what your mama tells you to do."
What I remember most about my father was how strong his arms were. My favorite thing was to get in my pajamas after supper, and Mama would sit in her chair, and I'd climb in Daddy's lap. He would read one chapter in a book every evening before bed. How I loved those times. Hearing him read and feeling his arms so strong around me. Sometimes when I read, I close my eyes and I can almost remember the smell of his shaving lotion.
You were so lucky to have had your dad, Aaron. I think Jack knew he was as close to his father as I'd ever have, and he tried to make my life better for it.
You know something, Marion? I'll bet Jack was glad also that he had you. You're probably as close to his daughter as he has never had. Ever had.
I'm sure that's true. Father's Day may mean something different to all of us. But one thing we seem to agree on, it's not who we remember or how we remember him. It's the bond that makes a person special to us.
And I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Happy Father's Day, everybody. Let's just hope the cook remembered what day it is and made it a special cake to help celebrate.